Hello everyone, welcome back to AD Academy. Let's learn about sentence structure. So what is a sentence? Okay, imagine if I say a word, run. Is this a sentence? You can guess it. You can comment it. Okay, so a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. What about he is running? Is that a sentence? Yeah. What type of sentence is that? Or when I say the sentence, is he running? So under which classification this sentence come? Let's learn about this. And we can classify sentence into different categories. Yeah. So every sentence has a subject and a predicate. So which can be a subject? There will be a noun in it and there will be a verb in it, an object in it. So SVO. This is the subject sentence. Sorry, this is the sentence structure follows in English. So subject, who or what, who is doing the action, what is being described about, and a predicate consists of what is happening or a verb. So a sentence structure tells us how words are arranged. So there will be a different pattern, like a particular pattern for that. What about in Malayalam if you say she is eating mango, how will you exactly translate each words? So you can try it of your own. Does it make sense when you exactly translate each of the words in English to Malayalam? Yeah, there comes the sentence structure difference in Malayalam language and English language. In English, we follow SVO, that is subject, verb, and object pattern. Here is an example. She is reading a book. So, could you please tell me which are the subject and which are the verb, which are the object? We can simply classify it into two. This is the basic sentence structure, which comes like subject and the rest of the part, that is having verb as a predicate. Here, she is a pronoun that we know. We have learned parts of speech. She is the subject. She, the pronoun, act as a subject here in this sentence. Next come is reading. Can we consider is and reading as another verbs? It together works as a verb phrase. So for now, we can classify it under verb. Okay, that section. What about the last, a book? That act as the object, receiver of the action. She is the subject which means who is doing the action. And what is the action? That is verb, is reading. Okay, and the receiver? A book. I hope it's clear what is subject and what is predicate. So here is the basic sentence structure in which subject plus verb. Here is one example, birds fly. Birds, the subject, fly is the verb. Next subject, verb, object. She eats apples. They play football. She subject, eats verb, apples, object. Yeah, here are the parts of a sentence. We have learned parts of speech. Every word that we speak belongs to some parts of speech. So what parts of parts of a sentence? We can check it. There will be a subject, verb and object. So as I have already told, subject, that's a person or thing doing the action or doer of the action, to put it in simple terms. Next is verb, action or state. Why state? Okay, for action we have many examples, sleeping, jumping, anything. And for state, what about this verb? Tired. Is it like can I act that? How I'm I feel tired? No, it's just a state. Sometimes if you worked very hard an entire day and at night, how do you feel? You will feel very tired. So that's a state. That's also an action. We can classify under that. You can imagine that situation. So state in verb, if we mention state, this is the reason. Next one is object or those who receive the action. She eats an apple. So an apple is being eaten by the subject. Example, Ram is a subject. Ram writes a letter. Ram is the subject. Writes is the verb and object a letter. A letter is being received, the action. Next is types of sentence. We can classify it as declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamatory. So declarative, it's like a statement. We'll be saying something like, there is no class tomorrow. Interrogative, asking questions. Where is she? Where is he? And for imperative, that's like a command or request. You should stop writing. That's a command. And for request, could you please tell me something? Yeah. Next, exclamatory. It's like a strong feeling. Oh wow, that's a beautiful view. It is followed by a exclamation mark so that you can understand whether to which classification the sentence belongs to. First, we can discuss about declarative sentence, something that gives informations and usually ends with a full stop. So in American English, what to say for the full stop? It is known as period. So for now, I'm using full stop for your reference. Examples are I like English. You have to capitalize language names. So it is followed by a full stop, which means that gives some information. I like English. Okay, the person who says this giving an information. So it's a declarative sentence. He is not asking question. He is not stating something, not a command, not a request. So that we can classify this particular sentence under declarative sentence. Next one, she lives in Delhi. It's also a piece of information, right? And also the place name should be capitalized. So please do check this all. Okay, so a sentence that's ending with a full stop or a period. Next is interrogative sentence. Interrogative, the word itself that keeps you, sorry, that helps you to understand or analyze what type of sentence it is. Interrogative, interrogation, which means question. So ask a question. It usually ends with a question mark. Example, what's your name? It's a question. Do you like coffee? That's also a question, always ending in question mark. So I hope it will be easy for you to understand or to analyze an interrogative sentence, something that asks a question. Next is an imperative sentence. It's like giving order or giving advice or requesting something. So the subject is usually hidden. Next, please help me or could you please help me? It's like a request. And for an advice, you should study hard for the exam. The will be using subject. So what else you can comment for all categories? What else sentence that comes in your mind? You can just comment it. Exclamatory sentence. That's usually followed by an exclamation mark. So I hope you know what is exclamation mark. See something curious. It shows strong feelings. That always ends with an exclamation mark. Example, what a beautiful day. Wow, that's amazing. Then we can again classify this under the types of sentences by structure, like simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence. Say again, simple, compound, complex, compound complex. It's very important. We can discuss about simple sentence. The name itself suggests what is simple sentence. It consists only one independent clause. What is an independent clause? We can check the examples here. I have given I read books. She is happy. What if I say she is? Then I stop my conversation. Does it make sense? Did you understand what I was about to tell you? No. She is happy. That makes sense. So that is not as a simple sentence. And I haven't added anything like she is happy and she went to park. No, it's just a simple one independent clause. I'm not adding any other independent clause to it or any other dependent clause to it. I'm just added one independent clause. This is a simple sentence. Next we can check what is a compound sentence. Here there will be two independent clauses. How we can make two independent clauses? Any idea? Okay, first we saw that one independent clause. To add to it, for sticking it, we'll be using some conjunctions. So which are the conjunctions I have given here? Could you please like try to analyze to which parts of speech these words belongs to? And that's a coordinating conjunction. But and but nor, sorry, or yet so. All these are coordinating conjunctions. So with a coordinating conjunction only, you can make two independent or you can join two independent clauses. What about a subordinative clause? Sorry, a subordinative conjunction. Can I make two independent clauses with a subordinative conjunction? No, that's not possible. A subordinative conjunction always make one part of sentence to a dependent one. So that then needs some other words to complete its meaning. Okay, so we can leave that. Yeah, here compound sentence, which means there will be two independent clauses. First example, I studied hard. That's a complete independent sentence, and I have connected with and. and I passed the exam. So it says like a cause and effect. Okay. So here there are two independent clauses, both of side, like left hand side and right hand side. We can see two independent clauses, that is dependent. Sorry, that is independent, not dependent. Next, he was tired. Again, a complete meaningful sentence or independent clause. Again, I have added but he kept working. So could you please type more examples of the sentences? For compound sentence, you can mention compound sentence and you can type it. I will be correcting it. Next, complex sentence. One independent clause plus one dependent clause. So which are the examples I have given here? Because, although, when, if, since. These are all reminders of subordinative clauses. So with one subordinative clause adding to an independent clause, it become dependent. Okay. Example, I stayed home because it was raining. So we won't be using any punctuation before or after because. So please just note that. Here, I stayed home is an independent clause. What about it was raining? Just this part, it was raining. That's a complete standalone sentence. When I added because to it, because it was raining. So why? What happened? Because it was raining? That it doesn't make sense. When I added the first, like I stayed home, that's a reason. So both of it, like when we say it's a complex sentence, one independent clause like I stayed home from because to it was raining. We can consider it as a one dependent clause that needs some other words to complete its meaning. Next, she smiled when she saw me. Next one, she smiled when she saw me. Here I haven't used any punctuation. Could you please tell me what's the reason? Why I have not used any punctuation here? Is a punctuation comma needed before when? No. Here we can see she smiled. That's a complete standalone sentence. And after that come when she saw me. So when she saw me is a dependent clause. So we won't be using we won't be using any punctuation though. Compound complex. So we can understand that if you know compound and if you know complex, you can mix it up, which means there will be two independent clauses, and in complex we can say one dependent clause. So two independent clauses plus one dependent clause. We can check the example. I finished my homework and I went outside because it was sunny. I finished my homework is an independent clause, and I went outside. Up to there, like and I went outside as a independent clause. I went outside as an independent clause, and because it was sunny is a dependent clause. What if we just say because it was sunny? It doesn't make any sense. So that need this phrases I finished my homework, comma, and I went outside and independent because it was sunny. So that is a compound complex sentence. Next, she completed her project. Again, a standalone sentence that makes sense. And she felt relaxed because the deadline was over. So why she felt relaxed? There is a reason hidden there. Because the deadline was over. Yeah. Next, he packed his bags as an independent clause and he left early because he didn't want to miss the train. Okay, so please just write this down and underline which all parts are independent and which all parts are dependent. Then when you revise this, you will be getting it. So here is you can consider this as a revision. Please just go through. So in a simple sentence, who all will be there? A subject and a predicate, subject and verb position. And in a compound sentence, subject plus verb. You can consider it as an independent clause. We'll be adding a conjunction and connecting another independent clause. In complex sentence, we'll be having only an independent clause plus dependent clause. Again, in compound complex, there will be two main clauses plus one dependent clause. So thank you all. See you in the next session.